know what we ought to be saying first.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Speaking of friends, I've got two of my good ones with me. One, the milkman himself, WIllie Walls, and two, the great Swami Odell Blocker. Willie, glad to have you with us.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Swami, I'm glad that Willie's with us.
Now,
right.
It's playoff time. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. This is a great. Let me ask you this question, guys. It's a really good slate. Swami, will you late swap all throughout the weekend?
No, that's not really my thing. I try not to unless, it's something that happens kind of late or breaks late. If it's not anything like that, Doc, now I just try to not second guess it and just go with
I
it.
can't hear anything.
Willie, do you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear him.
All right, you're better off that way. All right. The question was about the late swap. Do you like to late swap? Because Swami says he doesn't. He wants to just have one team and try to make as few changes as possible.
Yeah, I don't mind that, but it depends on what's going on. It depends on the ownership. If I know I can't win, I need something to change, then I will go with a different person than who the talk would be in that other slate to have the only way that you could come back up.
Swami, that's pretty true. But if you're ahead, you don't have to take as many risks. If you're behind, you might have to take a few more risks, right?
Right. But typically I try, like when you're building, you want to consider that when you're building. But if you can find yourself in a situation like Willie said. I mean, I know that's probably the better route, like Willie's saying, if you're looking at it, really analyzing it. I think, but for the most part, at that point, like Willie, he's got a lot of folks going late. He's focused on going late. Advantage Willie. He structures his lineups so that he has an opportunity to do just what he said. I'm looking to try to get the best, 8 or 9 players in there. And so sometimes I fail to kind of take that type of I want to say approach to it.
All right, real quick. Our friend Jerry Blake has a question. He says, with the snow in Chicago, I have Swifts and Jacobs. Thoughts for the playoffs? He's allowed one player per team. What would you do, Guy? Willie, who would you take in that game? Chicago, Green Bay.
Jacobs is one of my favorite running backs on the slate, period. He's one of my favorite running backs on the slate. I love Jacobs this time. A lot of people don't want to play him because of what happened before. You saw what happened with, McCaffrey. You saw what happened with, you can run on Chicago. I'm telling you. So I'm going.
Who do you like on Chicago, Willie?
I don't really like anything on Chicago, to be honest with you. What I do is, like, when it comes to the 6-game slate, the only one I'm playing.
No. The question was in these contests, he's allowed one player per team. So who would be the one guy you would take from Chicago?
Swift.
Okay. Swami, who are you taking out of that game?
I'd probably say Swift is my favorite play. I like him more than Jacobs. Too much in and out of the lineup. Hasn't really been effective against Chicago. I see why Willie might like him, and then Swift just looks better in these type of games. When it seemed like the Bears, when there was a little bit of weather, they got him and Monanga going. I just like that backfield a little bit better. And I think the other two teams is probably a little bit obvious. If you're saying he's got to take somebody from the Rams, I'm sure he got that. I like to know who he's thinking about for the Panthers.
Well, that's a good question. Usually with those lineups, there's one team you can avoid because you need 11 players.
Okay.
So there's one team, and I would avoid Carolina. They are losing. All right, let's kick it off here, guys. Let's get right to it. Rams, Panthers, we mentioned this game. Vegas has the Rams scoring 28 points. That's a pretty high game. Willie, are you playing Stafford and Puka, Corum? How deep are you going with your Rams?
I'm going to be honest with you, Doc. On the 2-game slate, I love Puka because you got to play him on a 2-game slate. I'm leaning more towards the running game when it comes to because of the weather-wise. And we've got to remember, J.C. Horn and Trevor Moore are back, and Carolina's pretty decent against the pass. And the things that are very interesting, the Rams run normally, like last week they ran 66% of their plays on that when 13, with the three tight ends. Okay. But what you can't do against Carolina is the play action pass. The play action pass, they're really good with it because they disguise their looks. And before you turn your back, they have changed the coverage around. So I think the Rams are going to do more of an 11 man coverage here. And I do like Kyron Williams and I like the running backs in this game. So I think Puka on a 2-game slate, you play Puka, but I don't mind a fade on Puka on the 6-game slate because you got to remember Adams is back too. And he leads the NFL with 28 end zone targets. He throws a little 2-yard passes to Adams.
Swami, are you playing this game? I assume you're playing the full 6-game slate. Are you playing it?
I'm more of a, each day. Willie likes the 6-game. I might take a chance on one single entry. I know you like it as well, Doc. But for me, if I were doing a 6-game, and when I look at it, I don't know how you can fade Puka. I'm looking at it and I don't see it. It's just not anybody else who can have the kind of impact that he can have. I think maybe second, I'm thinking like Nico or maybe AJ Brown, but I don't know. That Patriots game could be interesting as well. But Doc, I think Puka is probably somebody you have to consider. If how we say if you got 20 lineups, Puka feel like he got to be at 15.
I think if I'm doing 20 lineups, Puka has to be in at least 12 minimum. And he's too good a player, right? If he explodes. But I think Willie's right. Adams is in a great spot too. He could easily score a touchdown. I just don't know with the hamstring whether we're getting Adams 10 for 120 in a touchdown. You might be getting 4 for 50 in a touchdown. Anybody, guys, for Carolina, Swami, any interest? I'm fading Carolina completely.
They feel sneaky. Like you could probably look at, say, McMillan, but I don't trust them. I really don't. I think they fell into the playoffs. I don't know if their offense can keep up with the Rams without, getting some help from Stafford. And I don't think the Rams are going to give them opportunity. I think they're going to probably get by the Panthers pretty easily. This might be double-digit win.
Willie, anybody from Carolina that you like at all?
I think Coker's worth a shot on a 2-game slate. Not the full slate, just the 2-game slate. Coker's worth a shot. I don't mind him. And Trimble on a 2-game shot, I think is worth a shot on a 2-game slate.
Okay.
Now, not the 6-game slate. I mean, my favorite tight end in this game will be Higbee for the Rams.
Oh, all right. I like Higbee too. All right. Let's get to the Packers and Bears. Look, guys, bad weather, wind, snow, crap. Willie, I know you like Jacobs. I like Jacobs. I can see this being a running game. Originally, had the weather been good, I would have been in on Jordan Love and Christian Watson in the passing game. But I think I got to fade the passing game now. Do you agree? Fade the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, if it's as bad as you said it's going to be, then most likely, we might have to lock Stafford in for this slate. But I got a feeling that they're going to be able to play this game because I looked at the weather and they said that, but I think they're going to be able to play. And I think Jordan Love is still a man of interest to me on this slate.
Swami, is Jordan Love contrarian because people like me just said, hey, weather's bad, I'm not playing him? Does that make him playable?
Doc, I don't know if that alone would make him playable. I think he had, a couple of decent games last 2 years against Chicago, one at home, one on the road. This game, he's on the road. I don't know. I don't know if I'm really trusting him on this slate. I think my favorite guy on the 2-game slate on Saturday would be Stafford. I think favorite overall, I'm leaning towards probably somebody in the Bills game or maybe even somebody in the Chargers Patriots game. But I'm not sold on that, Doc. I don't know if I want Love or the contrarian or what I think will be more Ashtrayan that he might represent.
All right. I think it's interesting because you can beat Chicago with the pass. You can. But these teams want to run. Jacobs, they want to run. But I like the passing. So, but here's my problem. It's
Snow
this next game.
flurries, wintry mix.
I know. The next game, though, could be the one that blows up. If there's one game on this entire 6-game slate that is the had-to-have-it game, doesn't it feel like it's Buffalo against Jacksonville, Willie? Doesn't this feel like this could be 37-34, and this is the game you had to have?
Yeah, I mean, I love Josh Allen in this game. The key for Josh Allen, I mean, the great thing about Josh Allen is he has averaged 26.3 points in 13 playoff games. 26.3. And if he gets pushed, he got 30 to 40 point upside in this game. And I love Josh Allen in this game. And on the other side, I just think that I just really think that Parker Washington is the man of interest to me. And I love Parker Washington. He will be a lock on the 6-game slate. I'm playing him in every lineup, especially on the 3-game slate. But I'm playing him in every lineup in the 6-game slate. And my guy that I love a lot in this game is Dawson Knox. I love Knox in this game going against Jacksonville. Buffalo's been pretty good going against the tight ends. And I just tell you, I think Dawson Knox and let me say this. Now, let me say this. Buffalo's pass defense has been better. And now I agree with Swami when you talk about the run. Their run defense has improved. They went from number 30th to the 16th. So, I think that, but that's why I like the pass games in this game. I think this is going to be, I think they're going to push each other. The thing that I love about, I love about the quarterback for Jacksonville is he can run the ball. He can run the ball. Buffalo gives up 22 yards a game for the run. And you notice he has rushed for 359 yards this season with 9 touchdowns. So I just think that both quarterbacks to me are in play in this game, and I love this game.
Why Parker Washington over Myers or Thomas?
Because Parker Washington runs a lot of stuff in the slot, and also he does a lot of inline, and that's his favorite guy. Parker, listen, I was poo-pooing Parker Washington, but listen, I'm tired of losing. This guy makes it happen. The guy's explosive, and this is his guy. This is the guy that he goes to.
Swami, do you agree that this is the game that could blow up?
I agree this one could blow up, like Willie said, just what Allen looked like in playoff games, but even more specifically what he looks like against Jacksonville. I think in 4 games against them, he's somewhere around 25 points a game. In the last 2, he's over 30 fantasy points. And so it's a lot there's a lot of reasons to like Buffalo, especially when they kind of coming in back against the wall. Nothing to lose, going on the road. I think they're going to have a lot of reasons to want to come out early and jump on top of Jaguars. They don't want to be playing that tough game from behind. So if this one had a pace that we're looking for, and if this one have, I think, that back and forth that we think we can get from it, then this probably the game, like you said, Doc, you want to have. Now it's saying how you want to play it. I'm not mad with Willie with Parker Washington. I feel like he's getting about 9 targets the last few games, somewhere around there. And what he's been able to do with it, how they connecting. It seemed like they just got a little something going. And why it's still a little bit of uncertainty, meaning that Myers is still in play. And it's going to be people crazy enough to think Brian Thomas is still a Jacksonville Jaguar. And then with on the other side, I wasn't really quite sure where Willie was going with the Knox play. I thought maybe Kincaid was like ruled out or something. I didn't know what he was doing, but that was like a major reach. So I'm going to stay away from that one. But I am interested. He didn't mention the running backs. I think Etienne and Cook without the backfield or when they got to run the ball, they could be more interesting than what we think in this one. There's a lot to like about this game, though.
Etienne is a lock button for me. Lock button. Him and Jacobs, I like it a lot because Buffalo cannot stop the run. But I may go all in on this Buffalo-Jacksonville game and just play it every way. I like Kincaid. I like Shakir. Who mentioned Shakir? My man King to Icon mentioned Shakir. I like Shakir. I like Allen. I think you don't just play a skinny in this game. You play it because you have to trust that this game is the one that should blow up. I don't think the other games are blowing up. This game has blow-up potential. I would say this question now, Willie. The next best game that could blow up can the Eagles and 49ers blow up? Or like, could we see Hurts to A.J. Brown and Saquon? Or do you think that game stays in the low 20s?
Listen, the Eagles' defense has been stout. They have really been stout. And Vanjo, that the defensive coordinator has Shanahan's number. They are averaging in the last 4 games, they're averaging 10 points per game. I mean, I see that, McCaffrey, they show McCaffrey in all the models. No, thank you. Okay, I will not be playing Mr. McCaffrey, not even on the 3-game slate. I'm not playing him. The guy that I'm locking in, because I saw what you saw, what happened is I am locking in Mr. Barkley. He's going to be the other back that I'm playing in this slate. He's the lock button for me, and I think Mr. Lane Johnson is back too in this game. I think this game is going to be like in the 20s. I think this thing will go under 38 points, and I just think that Philadelphia is just going to do enough to try to win the game. But I just don't see with that wide receiver. I don't know. Is that wide receiver coming back, Doc? Do you know?
Pearsall?
Pearsall, is he back?
I think he's going to play.
Okay, well, he's the only one that could beat somebody in coverage in this thing. Listen. Philadelphia plays a 4-on-4 like on that. I just don't see. I don't see them doing anything against Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia's defense, and I just think that and I hate to say it, the models are showing McCaffrey, but I'm not gonna play him. I'm not playing McCaffrey.
Talk to me, Swami. This game has a lot of good offensive potential. Are you buying it?
Doc, I would have said Willie was absolutely nuts. I'm talking about bonkers until I saw Purdy and the 49ers at home last week, and they were pretty bad with it all on the line. If you can't do anything with Seattle, then you're going to go face a hot Philly defense with a lot more nastiness than Seattle. I don't know. But I tell you who I do like a little bit. I see Willie's caution because when the entire offense looks bad, it's hard to trust McCaffrey, especially if Purdy is struggling like he struggled. It's just not much that Mr. McCaffrey can do by himself. And we saw that again last week, even when he had 6 or so targets out of the backfield, it still just wasn't enough. The offense had to do a little bit more. I want Willie. There's a lot of reason to be cautious here. And because you got to pay up the price on it, and the only thing the only reason I'm cautious about Barkley is because of how he's looked, not just all season, but I mean the second half of the season wasn't anything to celebrate. I'm not sure what's going on with that Philly running game. Barkley's always dangerous, but I don't like it. And the thing, and I know we're past this segment, gentlemen, but what I don't like, I had Jacobs maybe the last 3 years in fantasy. That guy seemed to be out of the game more than he was in the game, especially in plus territory in the red zone. And I looked at, and I wanted to see exactly what it was. They said it's around 57% of the offensive snaps. That's why I don't like Jacobs. I do not like him for that reason alone.
I mean,
he has to be on the field to have fantasy value. Unless you got Jacobs break home run balls like we get from Saquon, which that's not really Jacobs. He's the 20-yard big play guy, not 80.
Well, it's fine. King to Icon says the following. He says, Purdy and Kittle, please. No one will play Purdy. Agree?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not playing Purdy.
That's a tough one.
I mean,
I think
he's a no for me, but I get that would be contrarian or it could be Ashtrarian. I mean, I like the Philadelphia side more. I like Devontae Smith and Goddard. Goddard is one of the great tight end plays on this slate, honestly. Because the thing about it is when they do the tush push, they do a lot of variations where they give Goddard the ball on the goal line and, like a little slip pass and all the things like that. So I think Goddard is a very interesting player in this state, Goddard and Barkley. But I'm more on the Philadelphia side.
All right, let's take a look at this next matchup here. Chargers and Patriots. I don't know here, Willie. I don't know whether the Chargers keep this that close. I like Loud McConkey. I can make an argument for Hampton, but I really like the Patriots.
But see, I don't know because now the Patriots are getting all their guys back, right? All their guys are coming back now. So that run defense will be more solid. And that line is terrible for the Chargers. They're not good, but it will be May's first time coming into this kind of matchup. Now, I was going to be on Hampton until I found out all those guys are coming back, and I don't like that he has the ankle issue. That ankle issue. I don't want nobody that's going to go there for a quarter, then he's out the game and he's 6,200. So I mean, I do like Stevenson. I think Stevenson is a very interesting player in the game. I think both running backs, and I think Diggs. So I think Diggs and Stevenson is in play for me in this game. For the Patriots.
What about you, Swami?
I don't think I want to fool with any Patriots other than maybe the quarterback. And the primary reason for that, Doc, is I feel like they could just spread it around a little bit, not because I don't think they're viable. And I think if I liked anybody, it'd probably be Hunter Henry a little bit more. Diggs is always, in play, but I don't know if I, if I love
Willie
Diggs.
mentioned Stevenson, right? What
Yeah.
about Henderson? Henderson is, I mean, are we overlooking him?
No, I think they both can be in play, which means that they're not in play, right? They either one of them could score. Depends on who they feel like putting in, and that kind of stuff just isn't good. And then the other back could do all of the work and then not get the touchdown or two. I don't like. That's why I just take Mr. May. I'll go with the MVP and Hunter in this game. And then on the other side, it would probably be Lad more than anybody else. I don't like that ankle injury. I agree with Willie, and I'm definitely not taking a chance on anybody else. Mr. Gaskin has disappeared. Keenan Allen retired midseason, and then Johnson decides to play football like twice a year. So no, thank you.
Yeah, when he's good those two times. He's good those 2 times a year. Otherwise,
it's those two.
Yeah,
it's good those two.
All right, let's get to this last one here, Willie. Texans Steelers. Is this a game where you have to have the Texans defense?
I think both defenses are in play in this game, to be honest with you. Now, there are some things that, this is what we got to remember. In this game, they are not playing the Ravens, okay? So Mr. Rodgers, when he goes against the top 5 defense 5 times, he averages 9 points a game against them. Okay, so Mr. Rodgers is out. But there's 2 plays that I think are very interesting on the other side of the game. I think Nico Collins is very interesting. You saw what Zay Flowers did against Pittsburgh going deep. So I think Nico's in play. And I like Schultz a lot, because Pittsburgh gives up 23% of their stuff against the tight end. And I think Schultz is definitely in play in this game. So, and I honestly think that on the other side, even though, listen, their defense is on point, but I think Gainwell will be the only guy I have interest in for Pittsburgh in this game.
What about Jalen Warren?
I don't see Jalen Warren get enough touches to beat this team. I think they're going to be behind.
Swami, C.J. Stroud is a good quarterback, but when he faces pressure, he's not as good. Pittsburgh is going to rush him. Could Pittsburgh pull off the upset in this game?
The defense of Pittsburgh could possibly slow Houston enough for Aaron Rodgers to make enough plays to win. Yes. But from a fantasy perspective, I wouldn't want to play none of these jokers. Nico's the closest, but it's all going to come down to how Stroud plays. Now, if Stroud comes out and they go up top, how they did a couple of games where they come out immediately and go up top and they start connecting and he get the deep ball going, then they could probably, get them playing from behind. Rodgers will then look his age and they can get out of, they can send Pittsburgh. They get out of Pittsburgh with the win and send them packing. But if they let them keep it close, same that kind of hardball goofiness, and you let them keep it around, Rodgers gonna make enough. He gonna make more plays than Stroud if it's that type of game.
Guys, how do we win this slate, Willie? How do we pull down green screens on the 6-gamer? I'll ask Swami about the 2-gamers, but I'm asking you about the 6.
Listen, the 6-gamers is, for me, you're going to have somebody that's going to be low owned. And I think That's why I think Dawson Knox is an interesting play for me in this game. And we also got to know the strengths of the team. So a lot of people will automatically play Strange, but Buffalo is pretty stout against the tight ends. So I just think that Dawson Knox is one of those guys, and it's going to come from a running back that we're not even looking at, that we haven't even talked about on this slate. So that's why I think that everybody's going to be on that. Everybody's going to be on the Jets game, and that's what I mean, not the Jets game, the Buffalo game, and that's what most of my thing is. But I think I might have a couple of stacks in that San Diego New England game. I think that could be something that could be a little interest that people are not looking at. Or can Philly just boat race San Francisco? So you're gonna have to we gotta be something different to slate. But I think that a lot of people are going to play McCaffrey. And I understand McCaffrey's been a man, but just like in that Seattle game, you're gonna have to fade people. You're gonna have to make tough decisions like this to be able to take down a slate like this.
Swami, how do you take down a single day slate?
I got two strategies I like, Doc. The first one is I like to play what I call the underdog. So let's say on this slate, you would go, all right, who is favorite to win? Panthers aren't favorite. All right, I want to do a lineup. I got 3 Panthers coming back with 1 Ram. And then in the same way, it goes, all right, who's favorite? I want to take then 3 Packers and then come back with 1 person from the Bears. So it's like you're playing the majority of the underdog players, and then you're avoiding playing more than just that one player from the favorite team. And you're trying to create like some leverage by doing that. Then did you follow that one, Doctor?
I
And then
did.
the other one,
I did. Well, I mean, because you're looking, you're saying, let me be different. If I play the Panthers and I could bring it back with Puka, because most people are going to go Stafford, Puka, Adams.
Right.
That's how I went.
Right, because if it hit, and then this Joker, and I'm saying that means it looks like you, but if, in this scenario, I'm saying you could still take the quarterback from the other game too. I mean, you still can take Love. So it's either Love or Young is your quarterback, and then you play maybe 2 of their receivers. Then with the Panthers, maybe you came down, you played their wide receiver, running back, and then defense. It's just some combination of 3-1. From the underdog teams, both of them in a 2-game slate. And the other one is you got to then load up on, I think, like you said before, which is probably the least favored stack. Meaning, so you look at this again, it's going to come back to being the Panthers, and then you're doing a full stack of the Panthers game, because that's again another low on, but you're doing that while loading up on all the other top guys on every team.
I think this week there's a lot of good games, but I don't know if there's a lot of high scoring games. And I want to be in on those games. I want to be in. I think the Rams are the highest scoring team, but I think the Bills, Jaguars could go nuts. So I feel like I need to have a combo platter of those games. That's me. Maybe
For
I'm
the
right.
4 and the 6.
What's that?
For the 4 and the 6, right?
Yeah.
Game slates. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. WIllie Walls. I need the balls to the walls call from WIllie Walls.
My balls to the walls call is Dawson Knox. I love Dawson Knox in this game. I think he's going to make a difference. I think a lot of people are going to go away from him. He's been getting 33% of the target share the past since week 14, and I don't think Kincaid is healthy, so he gets a lot of the goal line looks. I love Dawson Knox in this game.
The Swami says,
please forgive my good buddy. He's clearly a drinker. He loves himself some 211 or something. I don't know what's going on. Dawson Knox. My goodness, Doc. Anyway, Doc, I think what Willie kind of already stole the guy was thinking. I'm thinking Devonta Smith. I think he is the guy that folks aren't looking at. I want to say his last game against him, he did pretty well. He becomes like the forgotten man sometimes. He's been a little quiet. They could use him in this game. I think the focus will be on probably Saquon and AJ and Goddard, and I think then Smith becomes the guy that can break out.
He's a forgotten guy. He is. I think he's a guy who's always overlooked. We see A.J. Brown. We see Barkley. We see Goddard. We don't always see Devonta Smith.
Right.
I am going to say I agree 100% with my guy, King to Icon. I love Khalil Shakir. Nobody wants to play him. I'm going to play him. I am. And I'm
playing him too. I love Shakir in this game.
And I'm going to stack the Bills. I think the following. The Bills want to run the football, but if the Bills want to run, they will lose this game. Put the ball in Josh Allen's hands and let him cook.
But the key thing, Doc, is they're going to get pushed this game.
Right.
That's the key. And that's when Allen goes for a 30 to 40-point game is when they're pushed. Right. I've never really been big on Allen, but in this game right here, in order for them to win, and this is playoff time, he's got to put that cape on and lead his team.
I totally agree with that. So Drew asks about, do we have a service for the playoffs, the playoff challenges? We definitely doing DFS. I will be putting up an article, Drew. I will put it up later tonight or tomorrow to help people win in the playoffs. Look, the rankings are everywhere. It's all about strategy, right, of how to get these done. Do you guys play any of these redraft leagues for playoff challenges?
I haven't played too much of it. Swami might have done it, but I haven't done too much of that.
The key is what Drew, and if I'll help you out here, right? Still want you to subscribe to the site, but I'll help you out. Map out the way you see it going. Map out the way you see the playoffs going. You want teams who are playing the most games, right? You want teams like the Bills. You want teams who can go the distance, right? If they can go the distance, if the Rams can go the distance and you have Stafford on your team and you have Puka, you're likely going to be in the money, right? If you get a team that's out in the first round, you're going to lose. It's really as simple as that, right? And in leagues where you get to add on for each round, that's the key, is to find the teams from week one who are winning, who can win in week two, who can sneak through. Guys, is there a team, before we end this, Swami, who's your secret team or in the AFC and NFC team who can make the Super Bowl, who people might not be thinking?
Might not be thinking. All right. I'm going to probably say might not be thinking, Doc.
Like, I'll give you mine. I think Rams-Bills could easily be a Super Bowl.
Oh, you mean both teams?
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking Rams-Bills,
you know what, Doc?
Doc?
I think people are just disrespecting Jacksonville. Jacksonville has beat teams on the road. They beat Denver, who's the resting on the road. They beat Keystone. I'm just saying they have beat good teams on the road. And this team, like I said, when you go into Denver and you smack them, and just like what they recently played the Chargers and they just smacked them. I mean, the last 7 they've been averaging 34 points a game. They're not respecting them. And I think Jacksonville, with that coach, got something to prove. So even though I think the winner of this game has a shot to go to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
That I agree with. The winner of this game could go to the Super Bowl. I really agree with that. In the NFC, I can make an argument for the 49ers, but they got to beat the Eagles. But I think the Rams are going to beat the Panthers. They're already one game ahead, and I don't know if Seattle's that good. You trust Sam Darnold?
I thought the question was the teams that we thought were unlikely to make it. He picked a 13 and 4 team, but you said Bills Rams, and then he picked a 13 and 4 team. Are they more like the favorites to win?
But Doc, let me say one thing. That defense is stout for Seattle. They are stout.
Okay. Have you ever seen Sam Darnold in a pressure situation?
Yeah, he must have missed that.
I hear what you're saying.
Dude is throwing the ball with 2 left hands.
He missing that. He missed that, Doc.
I hear what you're saying.
What beer goggles on, Doc?
And everybody disregarding Philly. You know, Philly still got that defense, and they still
nobody.
Listen, they're the Super Bowl champions. You know, defending Super Bowl champions. So listen, I don't know what y'all see in San Francisco. I think San Francisco's offense is limited.
This is a bad matchup.
I don't know.
Was facing
I don't see a lot
else.
of win situations against this Philly team, and Carter is a monster. He is a
So Doc,
monster.
that's a
And
team
that
that's
defense
slightly being
for San
disrespected.
Francisco is horrible.
49ers are being disrespected right now. That's a team that's being disrespected that can possibly make some noise in the NFC. And I'll say in the AFC, the team that's probably been a little bit disrespected. I'm just say it. I don't like their chances, but I think the Chargers. I don't know why they've looked the way they've looked. They have looked iffy, super iffy. But those are two teams that folks are disrespecting that could maybe make some noise.
I want to like the Chargers, Swami, but that offensive line is bad, man. They are bad.
They are bad. They're super bad. But
Super
it's
bad. And Milton
and the way
Williams
they
going to
play,
stop. Milton Williams going to meet Omarion Hampton head on, and there you have it. All right, Swami, before I let you go, who's your favorite cheap bastard of the weekend?
my favorite cheap bastard, Doc, and I mean my absolute favorite cheap bastard.
I can't hear him, but I know what he's saying.
Bartholomew Walls.
That's it.
It's something very interesting. I'm thinking about one of the receivers from Green Bay. I really think they got some interesting prices. All of them are in the 4,000 range. Watson, Dobbs, and Reed. I lean towards Reed, and at that price, and we know we've had at least a big game from a Green Bay receiver in both of the games against Chicago. So I think one of those guys is going to go off. I'm going to put my money on Christian Watson if he's healthy.
All right, who's your favorite cheap bastard, Willie?
I told you, is
Dawson Knox.
Yeah, Dawson Knox is my guy this week.
Okay.
That was your balls to the walls call.
Don't worry, he's consistent. Willie's being consistent.
Yeah, he's consistent, Doc. Pure ass.
And Dawson Knox and Shakir. I like Shakir this week. I really do.
like Shakir too. All right, to everybody out there, we wish you much luck. We hope you win big. We'll be back next week for one last week to help you win money. For WIllie Walls, the Great Swame, I'm Dr. Roto saying be well and
take care.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.